At this point, we are now recording. So, welcome to this recording, folks. We are playing Masks, a new generation. Specifically, we're playing Masks in what we are calling Titans. So we're playing young superheroes who have some of the world's guardians in a team called the Titans, the biggest superheroes in the world, who they're all connected to. So people are building up their characters here. So I'm going to ask people in order of their character keeper to introduce themselves and a little bit about the character that they are playing. Then we're going to define the Titans, so who are the big superheroes that these people are and what their connections to them are. And then we're going to go through and do some of the background questions, how they came together as a team. And as we do this, folks, what I'm going to ask the player to do is if we can think of things we want to add into Union City, which is our home for this 8-run or 9-run, including this game. It would be cool to think about what Union City looks like as well. So we want to describe where you go to school, where you live, the borough you're in, all those sort of things are up for grabs as we world build this morning. Everyone cool with that? So in my character keeper order, we have Robbie first. If anyone wants to make me aware of anything that they are they're doing out in the big bag world of gaming, we'll put that in the comments for the post of the video at a later point. But Robbie, do you want to introduce yourself and your character to begin with?
Okay, my name's Robbie. I use he, him pronouns. I am playing a character named Scipio, or Skippy Whowood, who when becoming a superhero becomes Glitch. And this is using the transformed playbook. The abilities of Scipio are technopathy and transmuting flesh. A little bit about the backstory I'm working on. I imagine Skippy as somebody who was deeply into computers and into artificial intelligence, neural networks and things of that sort, and got to wondering if computers and artificial intelligence might be able to create some type of psychic aura or something along those lines and bring it into a physical form. And that experiment worked, except the physical form that it was fused into was his own form. And so he's now become somewhat digitized. As I say, the transformation of him is this kind of transformation so that even down to his DNA, that the kind of transmutation affected by the artificial neural network has profoundly changed the way that he is.
Oh, like it. The next person in my character keeper is Tank. So Steve, would you like to introduce yourself and Tank?
Yeah, so I'm Steven. I use he, him pronouns. Been playing with the Gauntlet for a few years now, but I'm definitely still learning. Incidentally, looking to do some GMing this year for the very first time, so I'll be watching how you do things and learning from you guys. So I'm trying to take the plunge. Anyway, so I'll be playing Tank. Tank is the Doomed, but he's a power armored hero. And he's defined by his power armor, really. So the backstory that I've really got in mind for him is that Carlos Arredondo, his actual name, was essentially a kind of a street punk or thief who happened to witness a fight between the Titans and an alien invasion. And I haven't thought of a name for the alien force yet that's properly 4-color. But during the course of the battle, one of the alien entities, one of the alien like battle suited entities, was kind of badly injured and fell right in front of Carlos. Carlos went to this thing attempting to, make a profit off of it and squirrel it away someplace. So he actually like drug this thing off into a junkyard with its alien pilot intact. And during the process, he was infected by this this nanite thing that has caused the body armor to form around him. So Carlos now has this alien in a mech suit off in a junkyard someplace that's like advising him. But he's being gradually overtaken by this nanite population, which is what gives him his powers.
Cool, because you were quite interested in playing the Doomed playbook. So obviously the challenge that we're going to be exploring with you is where does Carlos end and where does the armor begin, I suppose. Is that what we're leaning into, Stephen?
Yeah, and the more he uses his powers, the more the nanites grow. So he loses himself every time he uses his abilities, and that's why he's got the infinite power move, because he can use powers from any playbook, but he takes a doom sign and gradually gets more and more taken over each time.
Awesome. Excellent. And third in my play order is B Cubed, played by Pearl.
What up, everybody? It's Bobby B, the B-Boy, also known as B Cubed. I'm the Beacon playbook, which is rad because the beacon like shines out into the night. Can't miss it. Really cool. And I don't have as many superpowers as everybody. I don't know. Like, not all of us are lucky, I guess. But I do have awesome acrobatics, because, like, B-boy skills. That's what we do. And then also, I don't know how I ended up with this phasing ability, but I'm rocking it. Like, you can do really cool things when you can, like, phase in and out. You know what I mean? Like, set up a move. Probably also do some super fighting. Yeah, mostly I'm just a like really great dancer. I'm the captain of the team at school. And the phasing thing came out of nowhere, and I just decided to run with it. Like I've been dressing as a superhero since I was a kid, because superheroes are really cool, and now I've kind of got a power. And I like phased by accident into this laboratory, and some guy gave me a suit, which I wear now, which like, I don't know. That guy, like, must have been a pretty good dude. I don't know why he had a suit laying around. I'm sure nothing bad could be coming from that. But anyway, so I thought I would wear it. I think probably it will help me eventually with the phasing thing, but I'm not very good at figuring things out, so I'm just going with it for now. People don't usually think I should be a superhero because I'm like, just a kid at school who dances a lot, but people don't know what goes in to, like, being a B-boy. It's like lots of years of really hard work and stuff. So I think actually like all B-boys should be superheroes, maybe, but definitely I should. Even if my family and everybody else doesn't really think so, it doesn't matter because I know that I'm super cool.
So my super secret GM sense is tingling there, Pearl, and that tells me that you've got a family. So I think when we come back round in a little while, I'd like to know more about that family, because they seem like an exploitable weak point. I mean, something for narrative, fun, and romance during the game. Right, all good.
I've got a quick question for Pearl. So B-Boy seems like the type that would have like a significant social media presence. Does B-Boy have like an Instagram and like a YouTube channel?
I figured we'd sort of establish during world building how much that kind of thing is like prevalent before I delved into it too deeply. So I've played in games like this where we tried to sort of minimize the modern technology aspect, and I don't want to like come up with a whole thing if we're not doing it. But I think
I'm down with it being the current day. So if we want to have social media and trying to have Bobby B trying to get the perfect Insta shot in the middle of a game, I think that.
Oh yeah, no,
awesome
I think
fun.
Instagram and YouTube for his like super fly moves.
Mm-hmm.
And he like, if he gets a new pair of like really rad kicks or something and he wants to show them off, he's gonna need to like, get a picture in. He might ask all of you to take a picture sometimes. I'm sure y'all will be helpful.
Awesome. Thanks very much. So we'll now come across to Poppin' J, played by Marco.
I'm playing Jacob Singh, who is the Poppin' J. He uses he/him pronouns. He is a mutant with wings, invulnerability, and he shoots energy blasts out of his hands. And he's from a family of mutants with similar abilities popping up throughout the generation. And that is an excellent resource for him that he can turn to his mom or his uncles or aunts and ask for advice. But unfortunately, they're more likely to give him advice when he's not asking for it. They want to make sure that he's upholding the legacy and doing right by the family and doing right for the city. And so he's kind of got them looking over his shoulder all the time.
Excellent. So we'll establish more about your legacy in a moment, but it sounds like there's a number of them out there.
I do have a question for you, Poppin' J. You have invulnerability and asking for a friend of a friend, not for myself. Is this physical invulnerability or invulnerability against psychic attacks as well?
No, this is physical. So yeah, that would be a problem. Say.
Oh, okay. Just checking.
Yeah.
Awesome. And last, but in no means least, Papillon and Ferret.
Hello, I am Ferret, also go by Sawyer. Either one, I'll answer. I use any pronoun said with respect. Jerry Tran, or Papillon, uses he/him pronouns in both names. And I don't know if you guys know, but most Vietnamese last names are Nguyen. We escaped with our history intact, and we're an amazing family. Not that I'm the best at my family. I mean, I am the delinquent after all. And I got my powers because my parents were really tired of my grades and put me in this test to try out a new study medication that you didn't have to have ADHD to have. So, yeah, it didn't work, but I have psychic powers and can teleport now. I summon psychic weapons, pretty much. I have a thing for butterflies and other kind of bizarre weapons. Constructs, perhaps you would call them. But otherwise, I'm just an average, everyday kid. I mean, who cares if teleportation can get you the answer keys to tests, or psychic weapons can knock someone out and let you copy their answers, and I'm sure my Titan thinks better of me than I do.
So we've got a really super science sort of vibe going down here, ladies and gentlemen. This is quite interesting. I don't think everyone's necessarily that, but we've got super science, we've got aliens, we've got cyber, we've got mental psychic constructs and science affected by drugs. I can see a theme, which is really interesting. Excellent. So that's on our sort of first pass around the city, the characters, right? So as we come back, that's an asthma cough, not a COVID cough, just so you can't catch it. It's all good. But we're going to sort of build up our characters there. Just as a bit of background, if anyone's watching this, I had a mad plan at the start of the year, which is like, I'm going to run masks and all masks pretty much all year on the gauntlet, all looking at different settings. So I've got another parallel game to this running at the moment, which is all set out in cosmic stuff, in Guardians of the Galaxy type view. And here we're on Earth. looking at different pieces. So we're going to go across to the Titans sheet here, folks, and the character keeper. Before we know more about your characters, I want to know and help us build a little bit more of the world we live in. So you'll see here there's 5 entries. Can you put your names in as you were in the character keeper there? So in column, and so row 1, and then we're gonna stripe across this. So we're gonna go back and forth until we pick this up. I'm gonna go in reverse order this time because I know Sarah's got that. So who's the Titan that you exist in the shadow of, Papillon?
Okay, let me read this out. Oh, you mean Emperor Norton? He's the glue that holds these Titans together. He's the only reason I'm on this team, you know. He really believes in me. Believes in me more than anyone else. Even my parents. That kind of sucks, but kind of rules. And I imagine Emperor Norton as like the hero XP of the Joker. Like positive spin on mental illness.
Cool. Awesome. So that was Emperor Norton, yeah? Just to make sure I was hearing you there.
Correct.
Grand. As we're introducing some people, folks, if you want to throw them into the NPCs tab as we're discussing things, I'd love you forever because that will save me a lot of typing at work later on. Excellent. So let's find out next about. I get people's names in place. Poppin J, who is your Titan? Who is the first class superhero that you are related to? Which should be really clear within your legacy, probably.
I just need to come up with a name. I think. What do you think you would prefer? Whether it was his actual mom or maybe his aunt?
I have no strong feelings. Well, probably the. I have no strong feelings. So I'm just going back to some of the lines and veils we set up at the start of it. The aunt gives us some greater flexibility than the mom, but I think
Okay.
we should be okay either way.
And I think that's that works for me. I'm trying to think of.
Well, while you're having a
Peregrine?
think, there, do you want
Well,
to?
I'm
Do you want?
thinking of a name for her superhero name.
Sure.
Peregrine, because keep with the the family
Sure.
has wings.
So tell us a little bit about Peregrine then. Is she? Is it a she? That's suppose the first thing to just to
Yes.
establish.
Peregrine is a she. She had a. I guess she's a well-established hero that's part of you know some other supergroup in the town, in the city. Maybe if there's any others who have superhero, their
So
type
to clarify that to help you, all of these characters are a member of a team called the Titans.
Oh, all of the
Yeah.
they're all in the same team. Okay, yeah. So she's a member of the Titans, and
That's fine for the moment. I think we've got enough
Yeah.
of it there. We'll come back and get some establishing questions in a second, but I can't wait to hear the answer to this one. Bobby B. Who took Bobby B as one of the Earth's mightiest heroes under their wing?
Can everyone hear me? Yo,
Yeah,
what's
we
up?
can hear you.
Awesome.
Yeah, I answer you now.
So there isn't like a list we're picking from, right?
No,
Not just make one
you're
up.
making them up.
That's a member of the Titans. So the dude in the lab actually, like, I think is trying to take me under his wing. And he just calls himself Dr. W. Uh, so I don't really know much about the Titans because I never really thought they'd bother with me. But he does make it onto the news with everybody else. He doesn't seem to do any dancing, so like I don't really get. But I mean, I'm grateful, right? So I don't know what his interest. I hope he's a member of the Titans. I don't know, but
Yeah,
seems like a cool dude.
everyone definitely is, even if they're Hank Pym like back in the lab these days. That's fine. Excellent. Tank, Robbie, tell me about the Silver Sentinel.
Okay, so Silver Sentinel is I guess the broad strokes would be sort of a combination between Silver Surfer and Captain Marvel.
Cool.
So Silver Sentinel is the member of the Titans that is regularly on sabbatical outside of the planet in order to engage and kind of diplomatize and deal with any kind of cosmic threats. But Silver Sentinel main personality traits are like cold, kind of ethereal, and he doesn't necessarily take Tank under his wing so much as he is incredibly suspicious of Tank because he has learned that Tank is infected with this nanite thing. He doesn't know yet that Tank has an actual alien that Tank has sequestered on the planet, which he would definitely not approve of. But he's worried that Tank is going to become dangerous because obviously the race that has infected Tank is brutal.
Excellent. That gives us a very different relationship there. I love that.
Yeah, so Silver Sentinel, I think what Silver Sentinel is contemplating at all times is, when do I have to kill Tank if I can't cure him?
Sounds dark and ominous, but we will foreshadow that throughout the game. You've got again that sort of it fits in with things like Silver Surfer, Hulk, and things like that, right? Where the hero is at risk of losing control, and that's what might cause us interesting times again ahead. So, Servo Glitch, tell us about Servo.
Okay, so Servo is a Titan who is Servo is also known as AN number 247, with AN standing for the Artificial Neural Network Experiment. She's the kind of latest experiment in kind of developing some neural network artificial intelligence technology, but she's an android who is on the Titans. And on the NPC, I said Servo is somebody who is very reliable, very stable, and kind of willing to do a lot of work out of the limelight, which suits the other Titans just fine, because that just means that there's more kind of spotlight for them. And with Servo in the background, kind of dutifully doing mop up operations or things like that need to be done for the Titans.
Excellent. So we're going to zigzag across this. So I'm going to keep with Glitch and ask what is Servo both best known for, and what's their greatest accomplishment as a superhero?
And I think that these are very different for Servo, because I think what Servo is best known for, it depends on which group you're talking about. I mean, Servo for the Titans is best known for being, the rock steady member of the team who, that they can kind of rely on to do, any kind of grunt work that they need. And I think that the community of Union City would kind of see Servo as that they're probably a little seeing Servo as an android and experimental. They maybe have some questions, although I think Servo's performance has kind of set the doubters aside. Now, I think that Servo's greatest accomplishment was when she intentionally bypassed her safety and security protocol to go rogue during a raid against a nemesis called Snakebite. And I kind of appreciated the fact that Servo was showing signs of kind of breaking out of this kind of mule role that the Titans had put her in.
Cool. So quite an advanced, I suppose, synthetic life. What does Union City and the world at large think about synthetic life?
I mean, I think that Union City, while somewhat suspicious of it, I think that they kind of realize the benefits. The humans of Union City see the benefits of having synthetic life forms, partly for the kind of work that they can do, which kind of benefits the human population.
Cool. Excellent. Tank. Same question for you. What Silver Sentinel even best known for?
So Sentinel is best known for combating various cosmic threats. It's not just this one alien incursion or this one alien race.
Grand. So they're sort of say that cosmic defender. Awesome. And Bobby B, what about Dr. W?
I mean, I think he's like the science dude.
So,
like coming up with the tech that everyone uses for their gadgets in the battles. Like, I mean, they've all got superpowers, which kind of cheatery, but but I think like he came up with my suit. Like he probably does that stuff for all the other Titans as well.
Did Dr. W build Servo?
I would guess he did. He doesn't really tell me all the secret Titan stuff, but I mean, who else was going to do it?
Good question. Probably someone bad. Okay, so they're sort of, I suppose we're saying that the world class genius. If we're playing this in play, they'd be someone like the Mastermind playbook, right?
I think so.
Awesome. Poppin' J, tell me us a little bit more about Peregrine. What are they, and what is your legacy really best known for?
Peregrine is generally the member of the Titans who speaks to the media, who stands forward and makes the the monologues and the speeches after the fight is done. A tough customer for sure as a hero, but she's not like the biggest powerhouse in the group, but definitely she's the one that is however the internal structure you want to set up for the Titans to be works, but at least as far as the public and the media is concerned, she's the leader of the Titans.
Awesome. Grand. So pop that into the box for me, if you wouldn't mind there, Marco. And
that's under NPCs, right?
That no, on the Titan sheet, there's a question. So working through these questions effectively at the moment, right, which is establishing a little bit about the heroes. So if you're looking to the Titan sheet, we're looking for you. It would be D5, please. Sawyer, same question for you, for Papali and Jerry. What's you have to type that answer in, but what do we need to know?
Emperor Norton is kind of like he would be the Luke Cage and Batman combination. There's like no crime too small for him to fight. He doesn't seek the recognition, or he doesn't like the spotlight. I think he leaves that to Peregrine. Like, he'll go in, get the deed done, then leave. But he's just kind of on the team. His greatest accomplishment is that he ends riots with calm words and genuine emotional connection, instead of having to rely on knocking people out. At least with the normal people, not so much the supervillains, all the time.
So, is there an area of Union City that is they are most active in, or are problem areas in the city that we need to be aware of as characters?
I think he is active, and I want to create Seattle has America's only Pan-Asian town.
Sure.
I wanted to create something of that nature, and have him sort of keep the peace between the Chinese neighbors and the Japanese neighbors and the Korean neighbors. Just sort of just keeping the peace and keeping everyone friendly in this in Union City.
Awesome. So I'll just put a little note of the description there in the Union City one moment. We can think about the name of the borough or area as we go through that. Great. So I'm going to keep with you at this point. Who is Emperor Norton's greatest nemesis?
That would be Madame Boncho. She is a super strong, super invulnerable, just brick house of a woman. I think I even saw her trading blows with Peregrine, and she shrugged off Peregrine's punches. Do you know how powerful you have to be to shrug off Peregrine's punches? Not like I idolize her or anything, but she's not like the normal muscle heads. She seems to be wanting to lead a team of her own. I don't know how well she's going to be good at that, but man.
So, Madam, if I'm understanding correctly, Madam Bancho is trying to lead a team of her own. Is that?
Yeah, she's not satisfied just being a muscle head or a beat stick.
Sure. So she's trying to. Got you. Understand. And is she active heavily in that sort of Pan-Asian town as well, or we see her coming?
Yes, she is. She is. That is why she is Emperor Norton's biggest enemy. She roams the streets with the people more delinquent than I am.
Cool. Popinjay, tell us who Peregrine's greatest nemesis is.
Sayamaki. Sayamaki is a master thief who has the ability to fight while invisible, and which is why she chose the name Scamaki, which is the act of fighting an imaginary or invisible foe. But yeah, Popinjay's usually a pretty straightforward, fly up, punch you in the face, or shoot you with her, her energy beams, kind of leading from the front kind of person, and dealing with an invisible thief. It really tests her capabilities.
Awesome. So I'm thinking with that SCI in front of her that this thief is someone who steals especially super science and technology and sells them to the highest bidder.
Yeah, let's go with that.
Cool.
Of course it is.
Bobby B, who's Dr. W's equal and nemesis.
I can't pronounce his name, so I just call him Bad Dude. But he's Dr. W's nemesis because he's got lots of superpowers, essentially kind of like he's a magician or something. So Dr. W is really great with science, but if you can make stuff disappear, the science isn't always that helpful. And bad dude comes along and kind of like messes things up that way, right? Like, awesome ray gun. Oh no, now it's made of bubbles. So Dr. W, like, not really into it, and I'm not that into it either. It feels like cheating.
Awesome. Do you want to name Bad Dude, Pearl, or are you leaving that to me to figure out?
You can do it if you have a good idea. I can also come up with something. I just don't have one right at the moment.
Yeah, that's fine.
But
I just want to make a note of Bad Dude, the magician.
hard to pronounce.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be that hard to pronounce. Like Skya Mackey would have thrown Bobby B very quickly. Skium, like, it doesn't have to be that hard.
If life has taught me anything, it is never trust anyone dressed like a magician. It's generally a bad plan. Cool. Tank, tell me about Cosmos.
Oh, I've been changing it to make it a little bit more realistic. I was going to do like a Galactus riff, and that probably would not work well. So I changed it to Helios, which is
cool.
Going to be like this criminal mastermind who has a space station that orbits the sun, and who has been orchestrating threats against Earth for decades. So the alien group that Tank got his powers from was done at the behest of Helios, who's sort of always instigating threats.
Awesome. But if you don't mind, I love the idea of the last Star Dragon and Devourer of Worlds, so I'm going to put it into the Cosmic game.
That's fine. I just thought, you know what, that's going to be a tough thing to weave into a story.
Yeah, it'll fit in there beautifully, and I'll put a shout out when we introduce that villain.
Okay.
Glitch, tell me about Snakebite, and deep respect for putting bite with a BYTE into the naming, right? Because that's what we want is computing puns.
Yeah. So Snakebite was a villain who is deeply involved in cryptocurrency mining, but in this world that has taken up a lot of power resources. So Snakebite had an effort to kind of swindle the Union City's power grid in the service of his cryptocurrency mining and thievery operations, and Servo was kind of instrumental in foiling that.
No, I think Stephen's just... Sorry, Robbie's just frozen a little bit there. Is everyone else still with me? Okay, right. We'll wait for Robbie to come back.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, we can, Robbie. Yeah.
Yeah, something froze up.
Yeah, suddenly you became as if Snakebite had stolen all the computing power.
Yeah,
awesome.
So I don't know I don't know how much of that you caught.
But, I got most of that. I think we got the hook of who they are and what they're trying to do. I think I'm clear. You just sort of froze, I think, towards the end.
Okay.
So tell us about the next question, Ro, then, which is who's your greatest enemy? If it's different from your Titans, who's Hackjack?
Hackjack is somebody who had similar kind of interests. He has similar interests in advanced computing, artificial intelligence as I do, but he's not a superhero, and he's a kind of superhero wannabe, and has become very jealous of me because he sees me as, I think he sees Glitch as taking his spot.
Cool. So Hackjack is more of a rival then, yeah?
Yeah. Well, I think a rival, but the rivalry has, become increasingly heated, and this has driven Hackjack to the villainous side.
If you go back to Hawkeye's origin stories, they became a villain because Tony Stark got the girl, right? So it's legit in tone and theme. Love it. So we can maybe see Hatchats fall into villainy as the relationship with that character. Jealousy is a powerful emotion. Tank, Helios is your same. It is the same villain here, right? Your greatest enemy specifically.
Sorry, was that addressed to me?
Yeah. Sorry, for Tank, Steve. Your greatest enemy is the same. So Helios is your enemy as well.
No. So Tank's greatest enemy is Talan the Conqueror, who was leading the group that attacked, that infected him.
Maybe my screech is just not refreshing. So they are.
Sorry, it's on Nemesis under extras on the play sheet, the PC play sheet.
Got it. Right. Okay. So I'm just looking at the wrong sheet there. So are they at large? Are they in prison at the moment?
I think Talon is at large. Yeah, he's sort of Helios's right hand muscle.
Okay.
He's his thug.
Awesome. What is the name of the super prison though in Union City? Where do people get, or in the outskirts of Union City, where do people get sent when they're captured?
If you don't mind me like robbing from other media sources, I was thinking the Zig, because the prison is actually looks like a giant ziggurat, so people just call it the Zig.
Cool. So Union City believes in effective restorative justice. So people here aren't sent into creepy old Victorian mental asylums, and instead, they try to help them get better. Lovely. Right. Let's Bobby B, tell us about Tina T.
Oh man, Tina T. She's the head of the b-ball crew at the other high school in town. She is harsh. Like you make one misstep and I don't know, I don't feel like dancing has to be so mean, but she's all over it every time. Luckily our crew is like pretty much unbeatable, even if we make a few missteps, but she's like as sharp with her wits as she is with her moves, and that is not something I can claim. So I gotta watch out for her,
So can I see again? This seems like a rival rather than a full-blown supervillain. Is this a human? This is your secret identity, I suppose. Enemy. Is that correct? And the answer to that is absolutely fine. You don't have to. That's cool because we can explore that as I think with the beacon. The fact that you've got the human villain and the dance crew and trying to get people to dance with you is going to be fun. You think of the Mighty Thing with the Yancey Street Kids, their villain is a bunch of punks who pick on the Thing, right? So it's great fun.
Yeah, bad dude is Dr. W's rival nemesis.
Yeah, I got it. But your rival is a human. It's a rival rather than a supervillain. It's enemy, but we can make great fun out of that as well. Poppin' J, do you know who your greatest enemy is?
Let me know if this is too silly. But I was thinking of Mini Masterbot, who is basically a human brain in a jar attached to a robotic body, and he has robotic minions that he uses to cause mayhem and villainy.
Are they also robots, or are they also brains in jars?
No, they are robots under his control.
Cool. That seems fine for me. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles made a major villain out of that sort of thing, so I'm down with the idea that we can have that. That's awesome. And Papillon, tell us about Severin the Shadow Striker.
Ah, that is Severine. It is a very
Severine.
poetic name. Well, let me just get into this. I mean, she's this really nice gal, I promise. Once you get past the fact she has all sorts of ways of making a salt shaker into a weapon at a moment's notice. I never quite trusted her. How can you when if she gets so angry she could chuck an ashtray at you with enough force to give you a concussion? She doesn't quite appreciate me trying to get on the up and up.
Awesome. Why is she your greatest enemy then? What sort of started this problem?
She's my ex-girlfriend.
That'll do it.
Yeah. We broke up when I got endorsed by Emperor Norton.
Lovely. Cool. What's your current relationship with your Titan? And I think we'll we can sort of answer this entire sort of subset, I think, here for each player, and then we'll run. Once we've gone through this, we'll take our break and then come back in and do back to your characters and playbooks.
Yeah. Relationship. Honestly, kind of strange. I mean, I know he believes me, but I don't know if I can live up to those beliefs. I think I may want to show I'm not just some waste with powers. If you tell this, I'll deny it to the very end, though.
So reading through what you've put there for you, what you comfortable in the shadow, you've said like you're not being harassed by the police, you haven't put out your parents will have to have an endorsement. So that means your family know at least about your alter ego. Do you have a secret identity, or is your secret? Is it sort of?
Emperor Norton does not allow me to have a secret identity since I can teleport. It may be a Union City thing, but I don't think people who can teleport are allowed to wear masks. Because like they can appear anywhere, and if they can wear a mask, it's just too dangerous.
So no masks for people. They can't maintain one. Okay, cool. So you had a fight last week. He doesn't thinks you're not using your powers honorably.
If you have powers, it's all about finding ways to get new answers, new solutions. It's not my fault if the cameras don't point at the desk where the answer keys are. I can still teleport there. And I mean, I've always been able to lockpick. I can't even remember not being able to lockpick.
Okay, so you're still playing fast and loose with your powers, and then how do they prove your actions? Yeah, so every time you pull something stupid, I got a feeling you might get a chore from Emperor Norton. So currently you're delivering and picking up groceries for all ladies.
Yeah. Pretty much, he promises favors I have to upkeep, or else make both our names seem stained. And I'm willing to stain my name. He knows I'm not willing to stain his.
Lovely, awesome. So Pop and Jay, what's your current relationship with Peregrine?
I would say it's stressed because what I do is going to reflect on her, and she knows it, and she's making sure that I know it as well, over and over and over again. Um,
Cool.
so I think there's part of a question that comes later about the opening fight where I have to have done something to embarrass her. So I don't know what to do with that yet.
Well, that's a touchstone of the Legacy Playbook, so we'll definitely be exploring that. Tina, your current relationship with your Titan? Not Tina, sorry, Bobby. Even I got Tina T right in front of my eyes. That's what just confused me there. So Bobby B, your current relationship with your Titan?
Yeah, it's like I wrote down. Like I'm mostly just grateful for the suit, but I'm kind of hoping he could later like outfit me with like a lot of cool gadgets and stuff that I could use against like all the bad guys because I don't have quite as many powers as everybody else. But maybe I like need to master the one power first is what I'm thinking he thinks. I'm trying to just play cool, which is not hard because like obviously I'm very cool. But for now, I try to stay out of his way mostly. I'm thinking I could like prove myself awesome and then maybe like, you know.
Cool. So the last time you fought, you had a midnight dance-off in the Super G parking lot. What's the Super G?
It is the local bargain grocery. That's where the teams from the two high school, like when we don't have an official meet, you know, but we want to just like have a dance off. We usually meet in the Super G parking lot because it's empty at night, and nobody really cares. So, but
yeah, I'm loving the discordance between this cosmic sort of threat at one level and someone having dance-offs for the parking lot. It's making me happy.
Very important.
Tank, kind of relationship with the Sentinel?
Yeah, so I kind of went into this before, I think.
Yeah.
But I didn't flesh out like what Tank thinks about Sentinel, just what Sentinel thought about Tank. So I think Tank is actually afraid of Sentinel. Like Sentinel is such a cold, intimidating personality anyway, and really just pops in to check on Tank. And Tank doesn't necessarily know that Sentinel's like looking for a cure. Tank just catches the "Are you going to kill anybody yet?" type of treatment. So I think Carlos is actually afraid of her. Yeah, and Sentinel is suspicious of Tank spreading infection. Yeah, and is looking at when Tank becomes dangerous to the people around him.
Does Carlos want to be cured and return to a normal life?
Yeah. Yeah, I was actually thinking, I think for the purpose and stuff and how everything fits together, it makes sense to have Talon the Conqueror, the leader of the Legion. But one of the doomed questions, and I think Carlos's real nemesis is like the nanite infection that gives him his powers in the first place. That's really what he wants to get rid of. But Talon the Conqueror is the only person that would know how to do that. Because there's a thing on the doomed playbook that says if you don't make progress against your nemesis every session, you move up on your doom track. So I was trying to figure out like how to work those things together. But yeah, Carlos definitely wants to get cured. He doesn't want to die, and he doesn't want to have his humanity taken away.
Cool. So we can definitely have the nanites themselves as the sort of on the doom track, if that makes more sense. And Servo, tell us about your sorry, try that again. Glitch, tell us about your relationship with Servo.
Okay. So I think that I respect Servo, but I don't. I mean, the Titans kind of put us together in this kind of mentor-mentee relationship, but I think it's apparent that that's just because the Titans don't really understand either one of us, and they just somehow thought that since they didn't understand that, you know, either one of us, that we would somehow understand each other, which is not necessarily the case. In terms of if I'm comfortable in Servo's shadow, I think one thing that eats at me is that it's, you know, people rely on servo, but never want to really acknowledge fully what the importance of servo. And I feel like that's kind of the way that they would want to treat me as well, which makes me a little bit uncomfortable being in their shadow. And then the last time we fought, I tried to. Oh, are we going on to these questions as well?
Yeah, which sort of they're sort of almost sub bullet points, but go through. Yeah.
So I tried to persuade Servo that she should find a way to permanently take down her security protocols that I thought were I see them as kind of limiting her. That she could be more than what she is, but they've kind of programmed in all of these kind of security measures. But when I suggested that, Servo was completely opposed to that idea, and it created a big fight. And in terms of how I know that Servo approves of my actions, I think I sometimes see subtle changes in Servo which nobody else would notice, but for me, that they almost seem like signs that I've influenced Servo in some way. But they're kind of little subtle nuance things that I think maybe only I would kind of notice that Servo has changed in certain ways.
Got you. Understood. Lovely. So we've got our heroes, we've got our villains, we've built up some parts of the city. It is 10 past the hour there, folks. Why don't we take 10 minutes and then we're going to return back into the playbooks and we're going to start going through your character backgrounds a bit more, how our team first came together, and then set up our relationships to take us towards conclusion today. Okay, so I'll see you back for 20 past the hour in whatever that looks like for you in your local time. Okay, so we're going to go now to the backstory sections of characters. We've established quite a lot of this already, but just sort of see if there's any more establishing questions that I want to ask or anyone else wants to ask as well. So if you spot things that you'd like to know about the character, please do feel free to ask them. We're going to go in character keeper order again, and we're going to find out a little bit more about Glitch. So if we look about the backstories questions for the transformed, I think we've understood a lot about this. But, you know, who were you before? When did this change? What caused it? One thing I want to make sure I understand, Glitch, is are you are trapped in this sort of this form? You can't turn back into your normal human self. Are you permanently changed? I think we established.
Yeah, I think the change was kind of profound and kind of all the way down. So I don't know that I would see any easy way of me transforming back to what I was before.
How does that affect Skippy? Does Skippy have family, friends? Have you able to keep in contact with them, or have you severed your before life?
I don't know that I would fully have severed it, but I think the transformation was so bizarre that the even those who were close to me have been completely befuddled by who I am now and how to deal with me right now.
So have we got family that we're going to likely to want to see here, or are they not something you're looking to explore?
Well, how about this? Because like one of my questions is who outside of the team is helping me to understand my new body?
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking that we could set up somebody who is not family per se, but somebody kind of close who kind of maybe is kind of more understanding of what has been happening.
So who is that? Is it like a best friend or someone like that, or?
I think it's I came up with a name. I'll drop it in here. Zephyrus Staple, who is a young kind of network analyst for a corporation who seems to be kind of more understanding of who I am.
So the corporation's got to be something significant, right? Because no one works at Microsoft; they always work at the supervillains or something's corporation. So what's the name of that tech company, that science research business, a tech company that they? I think they're probably doing work in AI and robotics, right? Because that would make.
Yeah, and I was thinking of a name like Rethink Inc. As the name of that corporation.
Awesome. And in Union City, where will we find tech areas like that? What's the name of the district?
I mean, maybe we just call it downtown digital. It's not the real downtown area of Union City, but it's they call it downtown digital, which is, and the center of this hub is this kind of artificial looking downtown area that is in fact not the real downtown area of Union City.
So it's like a number of the tech companies and research businesses have sort of almost made their campuses and offices here, and it's like almost like a new shining tech city to the edge of where we currently are. I don't know if people know London, but you've got like Canary Wharf, which was sort of built in the 80s and 90s, and most of the big techs and banking businesses have moved there away from the historic center of the city. And literally, if you go into one of the tube stations and come out, it is full of almost like a mall underneath there with everything you can imagine. I've got that sort of in my mind. That's helpful. Thank you. Why don't you just try to hide yourself away?
Well, first of all, where would there be for somebody like me to hide? Plus, I mean, the transformation has given me certain abilities, and if I've got to use those abilities, that's the only way I'm going to make my way in the world. And hiding just doesn't seem to be really any kind of viable option for me.
Makes sense. And why do you care about this team?
Well, I mean, when the transformation happened, I certainly kind of lost. I mean, all the friends and family that I had, for the most part, kind of have looked at me as this monstrosity, and it seems like the team is a place where I have people who, even if they don't understand me, they at least will appreciate the contributions that I can make to what they're doing.
Cool. Excellent. Then let's go and have a look at the Doom playbook. I'm showing the transform. I don't think there's any other sort of bits we've got to set up there immediately. Let's go and have a look at our Doomed the tank. And so again, we had a good definition of what tank is, Steve. But when did you first learn of your Doom? What is it like to find out that this you've got this terminal nanite infection?
So I think if it were in a comic, there would be like a flash page that shows backstory or Tank's backstory, and the first panel is a full page that shows this Hispanic kid with his single mother and younger brother, and they're like out on this very white picket fences neighborhood on a walk going down the street. And Carlos, the older boy, is like looking down, and his fingers are kind of like glowing, and he's obviously like super impressed that he's got these new abilities, that he's been infected with this stuff, and now he can do all these cool things. And on the next page, it's a four panel split, and in the first one, like his mother is smiling and like reaching down and holding hands with the younger son, and you see this car kind of coming in the distance, but it's starting to like weave back and forth. And in the second panel, it like suddenly jumps the curb because there's a drunk driver behind the wheel, and is coming straight at this shocked family that's about to get run over. And in the third panel, Carlos jumps between his mother and younger brother and this car and reaches out, and his hand is transforming into the power armor that looks like Tank. And he stops the car in its tracks. It just like crumples against his hand. But in the fourth panel, he looks at his mother, and like targeting reticles appear on his mother and on his younger brother. And in the fifth, on the next page, it's another full page spread. And all of a sudden, both Carlos's other hand just morphs into this like energy cannon, and like rocket launchers pop up over his back that just come out of this, basically come out like in, you know, the later Iron Man movies, where like all the tech just sort of appears on him all of a sudden. Mm-hmm. So these rocket launchers just like pop up over his head and focus on both the car and both of his family members. And obviously, you know, his family members are like cowering in fear. And the next panel is him running away because he's afraid of hurting anybody else. So that's kind of how I see him learning that whatever's in him is an immediate danger to anybody if he doesn't try to control it.
So what's your mom's name?
I think her name is Rachel.
And what does she do for a living?
She works at a laundromat.
So quite an Aunt May right type character. So she's potentially your ground into the oddity of your life.
Yeah, but it's not like a Janus situation. Like he hasn't been home. He hasn't been home since then.
Oh, you haven't been home since then?
No.
Okay.
No, he's too worried about hurting anybody.
Cool. And what about your brother's name, and how old are they?
Brother's name is Hector. Let's make him 6.
So he's 6. Quite an age difference there. Cool. Okay. The other thing that's important for the Doom is they have a sanctuary, a place where they can rest and recover and reflect upon your powers. Where is Tank's sanctuary?
So Tank's sanctuary is going to be the junkyard where he kind of sequestered this this alien power suit that he recovered during the battle. And the alien in it, who's a member of this this race which I've decided to call the Legion, which looks in very four color style, like a purple batch of humanoids with like little wings on its head. But this badly injured alien is like recovering now in this junkyard with the remains of his suit. And that's where Tank has been living since the incident with his mother occurred. So he actually like stays out there with this alien who's become sort of a mentor figure to him almost.
Okay. And have we got a name for them, this alien?
Yeah, his name is Vash.
And where in Union City do we find the junkyard?
So it's definitely on the outskirts.
So maybe in the industrialized outskirts, we're going to find things like factories and that sort of.
Yeah. So like, you know, there's an ethnic neighborhood that's on the wrong side of the tracks, which is where Rachel's actual home was. The white picket fence area was where she worked. but yeah, there's the wrong side of the tracks, and the junkyard is out in the industrial district past that.
Mm-hmm. Got you. Okay.
And why does the team matter to you? I think so. Silver Sentinel is the one that's crucial to defeating his nemesis. Why does the team matter to you? I think for Carlos, that's actually a self-serving kind of a deal. So he sees the team as he knows he's got powers now, but he sees the team as kind of the only way to get on that level where he can actually interact with the Silver Sentinel and find out more about what's wrong with him and actually get better in any kind of way. I mean, Glitch obviously is good with computers and knows more of this stuff than Carlos does. So I think for him, this is his possible leg up to cure himself.
Okay, cool. All right. I think inadvertently we may have hit a line there, just to be careful, people, which is death, suffering, or peril of parental figures. So Pearl, sorry, I didn't see your message that came in on the chat there, but Pearl will be back in a minute. But yeah. Okay.
Okay, that's easy. I can easily that's pretty simple to redact, even out of my comic version. Just, you know, he stands up for his brother instead of the parental figure, but they're not in any danger of being killed in my thinking.
Grand. Okay. Right. We'll wait for Pearl. Oh, if we got a few more to cover.
Yeah. Thanks for drawing my attention to that. I didn't see that message.
Why do you oppose your nemesis? Oh, sorry. Yeah. Well, I think we know why you oppose your nemesis. I think that's pretty clear.
Yeah.
To who outside the team is crucial to defeating your nemesis.
Yeah, Sentinel. Sentinel's the only one who's got that link and any motivation whatsoever to help him.
So what does Vash offer you then? Do they offer the ability to maybe to control the suit rather than be consumed by it?
Yeah, so I think and Vash isn't necessarily friendly either. I mean, Vash is kind of using Carlos because he's badly injured. So if he needs medical supplies, he'll send Carlos out for them. But Vash, I think, is his only hint at like what this stuff is and how it works. But he's aware that Vash isn't necessarily on his side, but at the same time, like Vash is the only kind of father figure he's ever had. It's an older male.
Okay, so Vash might not be on the up and up. They have their own agenda.
No, I would think Vash's agenda is really to get off planet.
Okay, so why does the team matter to you?
Yeah, so that's, you know, again, the self-serving. He's trying to. The team is the only link he's got to these powers that can possibly help him, which would be the Sentinels or the Titans rather. These guys know the Titans, they're in with the Titans, and some of them have powers on their own that would be possibly helpful. So like Carlos knows nothing about computers, Carlos knows nothing about technology, but yet the nanites in his system do. So folks like Glitch and you know, even Glitch's mentor, like some of those people those are people who Carlos sees as maybe being able to help him.
Got you. Okay. I'm going to give Pearl a bit more time there. I'm going to come across to Pop and Jay a second and ask for their
Pearl
back.
is back. She just said she's staying off.
Back off, but I can see Pearl is back, but I'll come across to Pop and Jay, and then we'll do Pearl last in the cycle there. Okay. And I've got the lines and rails open in front of me, and I'll try and shout if I see us hitting one accidentally again. So legacy. The backstory question: How does Pop and Jay become part of the um, part of your legacy? How did Pop and Jay take on these powers, and where did they come from?
Um, this is mutants. In mutant blood is in my family, and they have also been heroes in different ages from my family,
Mm-hmm.
with different groups, and have sometimes intermarried with other mutant heroes. And so I really don't have a secret identity because I'm the kid with wings coming out of his back.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I think the formation of this team was intentional by the Titans, clearly, because they've each individually trained us and then are putting us in. So I think it really wasn't a choice of mine. I was told by my aunt, this is what's happening.
So it sounds like these powers don't necessarily come out in every family, right? Because if it's your aunt and not your mother, as we've established there, that not everyone in your family gets these
Correct.
powers.
Correct.
So these powers sort of come back.
There's more than just the two of us, though.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Okay. I think we've established the greatest accomplishment. Well, have we? Let's pull it out a bit. What is the greatest accomplishment of the legacy of your family? What are they? We know Peregrine is probably the leader of the Titans.
I think her grandfather was a golden age hero,
Mm-hmm.
Who was a hero of what golden age is generally World War II, right? So he's a hero of the war.
Yeah.
And so he fought in a great battle, and kind of established the family by marrying my grandmother, who was another golden age hero, and then my my aunt is the one who has it in the next generation, in the previous generation to us.
So I want to make a suggestion to you, if you're happy, that Pop and Jay was actually the code name of your grandfather, and they've sort of, your mom or your family really wanted you to take on that title. Does that work for you?
Okay, but I think it was originally tossed at me kind of ironically,
Mm-hmm.
the name, because I'm kind of a ham, and so that's what, I was called a puffed up popinjay, and I guess since it was my grandfather's, um, or should it be great grandfather?
If it doesn't
Great
work,
grandfather's.
do say no to it. I've got no issue to saying no to it, Marco. If it doesn't work.
Well, if I say no to it, then I'll have to make up a name for him. So let's keep it as Popinjay. Let's do
okay.
that.
Cool. So the public presumably think of your legacy quite highly.
Yes, and that's really important to Peregrine.
So you're in the family business, right? It's like being in a cop family.
Yeah.
And how do you feel about that? How does it feel to be the youngest member of this legacy, and it sort of all sits on your shoulders?
It's frustrating, and it's making me feel restrained, and I think that's why I've become friends with Papillion, because he doesn't always do what he's told, and I find that really appealing.
How old is Popinjay?
What time of year is this going to be taking place in?
I have no strong feelings. It's always summer, right, in the comic books. So doesn't no strong feelings. Whatever allows you to answer that
So
question
how
most
about
fully.
the summer after he graduated high school? He's still 18, but he hasn't started university yet.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got to do this and keep up my grades.
Awesome. And why do you care? I think we've established your legacy ties into reasons for being your hero, but why do you care about the team?
If I can prove myself to be able to work with a team and be shown to be competent, maybe it'll get them off my back.
Okay. Excellent. Let us come across to Papillon next, who is our delinquent.
Yeah.
I think.
Go ahead.
I think
Sorry.
no, go for it. Go for it. I think we established how you got your powers. Anything else you'd like to describe there?
Yeah. I think it's just like sort of like the comic book panel. It's him at this like a cram school. They put this. I think it like looks really like it can't look like a real pill because this is a comic for kids. But like it looks like a Lisa Frank version of a and Twilight had a child and put it into a pill. And he takes it, like keeps like looking down at math and starts writing in the margins, and like that's when he starts realizing like butterflies and dragonflies from his psychic creations are flying around his head, and he's like, oh. But then like looks down at the math book, looks back up at the shiny like psychic constructs, focuses more on them than the math.
Okay, so how many other people were in that trial and class with you taking that drug? Was yours a one-off, or were there multiple people taking things?
It was I think it was like a good group of 13 of us, because it was either this or go to detention.
Mm-hmm. So did they all take the same medication?
Well, it's a double-blind study. We're not sure how many got the placebo. Hell, I'm not even sure if I got the placebo.
Some of them probably did. Okay. What was the name of the corporation or the pharmaceutical company that sort of got you into this study?
Oh, this is I think Omniflex, building a better brain and body.
Did your parents threaten to sue them, or do they not know about, what's the
My parents were more disappointed that it didn't help me study. They've really, I don't think they think I'm going to be a hero. But my older brother will not leave me alone about my potential. And honestly, it's kind of nice. Not that I'll tell any of you that. It's bother my
has he got a name, your older brother? Have you put him already into the NPCs tab?
Not in the NPCs yet, but I will. Yeah.
What's their name?
Diego.
Lovely. That makes sense to me. What do you do for fun?
There's a loud train going by. I think you should be good now, but I read. Yeah, I like reading. You think all my activities are going to be negative and deplorable?
What's your favorite type of stuff to read?
Fantasy and sci-fi. I mean, fantasy has that good magic stuff, and I'm really more of a sci-fi guy, especially like, the cyberpunk and different genres, because even in dystopias, people are working together. It's nice.
What's the name of the bookshop that you frequent to get these books?
Oh, I think it's the let's see, the good bookshop name. I think it's Left on Red. It also sells like gift cards like to Kindle and other and Audible services.
Cool. Who outside the team thinks better of you than you do?
That's my brother Diego. He will not let me see the bad side of myself, and I think he even helps with some of the favors that Emperor Norton puts on me.
Excellent. Why do you try to be a hero? Why does it matter?
Because not enough people do. I may not be the best, but I'm the best a lot of people get.
And final question: why do you care about the team?
They're all right, I guess, for squares, but like really polished squares. And like the dancing kid's pretty cool.
Awesome. Cool. Well, Pearl, if you're cool, I'm going to come back to you.
Yeah. What up?
And let's come up to the beacons questions. So I think we have established how we've got your skills, but anything else you want to add to that?
I don't think so. I mean, like, when I figure it out, you'll be the first to know. You know what I mean?
How did you first put on the costume? Well, when did you first put on the costume?
Well, this one was after I phased into Dr. W's lab, and he was like, you should probably have a suit for that. But I've been putting on masks and stuff since I was a kid. Superheroes are like really rad.
So does the suit help you stabilize your phasing? Is that what it does?
I think that's what it's supposed to do. I still haven't really figured it out. And I don't really want to tell Dr. W that I haven't figured it out because I feel like that would maybe not encourage him to give me more cool things.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm working on it. I may have gotten better, but I also haven't been phasing that long.
Mm-hmm.
So it's hard to tell whether I'm doing it less often now or whether I just don't do it very often. But I'll get back to you.
I mean, Dr. W has warned you, like, if you don't control this, you might like phase through into the Earth's core.
Yeah, he also said something about like ending up with half of me through like a wall, but the other half on the other side of the wall, which seems not awesome.
Okay. Who outside
But
of
it
the
hasn't
team?
happened.
Who outside of the team thinks you shouldn't be a superhero?
This is just driving me nuts. It's basically everybody. I don't know why people underestimate me so much. Like I'm a really hard worker, and like, I mean, even among sports people, like people, like dancers don't get any respect. B-boys don't even get respect. But my uncle Bort, like, he just gets to me. He's like one of those guys who just he can't say anything nice, and he didn't learn that lesson about like if you can't say anything nice, stop talking. So he always has some snide remark. And like, who's named Bort anyway?
So are they sort of saying like, hold on, you need to go and get like a proper scholarship. You ain't going to get it for your dancing. You need to go to college. You need to get a job. Is it that sort of relationship?
It's more just he's really like sarcastic. I don't think he thinks I could go to college and get a scholarship even if I wanted to. So it's more just like, oh look, it's Bobby. What are you going by now? I don't know. I can't remember the specific insults, but they're mean. And
Got
like
you.
that's not how family's supposed to be.
So why do you try to be a hero?
Well, so one, it's awesome. Right? Like even when I was a little kid, I wanted to be a hero. Two is that I've got this phasing thing going on, and I feel like it could be like you should be a hero if you have like hero-y things, and otherwise you're maybe a villain. I don't know if that's like a false dichotomy. I learned that term recently. False dichotomy. I really like it. But the biggest thing is that like doing good in the world is the right thing to do, man.
And why do you care about the team?
Well, this is my last year of high school, and like the b-boy team has been kind of my crew, for years. I don't know what I would do without them, but then like this team seems really rad, so I'm thinking like maybe once high school's over we could all still be a team and it won't be so lonely.
Cool, got you. Excellent. Right. So the next thing we're going to do is how did the team come together? And I'm going to suggest that your first time out was confronting Madame Bancho and her team. She had grand ambitions to take control of this Pan-Asian town and put it under her control. And it was down to you folks to step out. The High Titans were off planet, dealing with Helios's latest escapade. So you come together to try and deal with this moment of crisis. And as I've directly referenced Madame Bancho, I'm going to ask Sawyer, as playing the delinquent, to deal with how the team first came together question first.
We totally broke some major rules to win the fight. What rules did we break? Whose rules were they? Well, I want to pitch out 2 ideas to the team and see which is supported the most. I think that, like, first off, we might have broken the Titans rules of, like, engagement. Like, maybe we decided we were not supposed to punch above our weight level, and this definitely, like, unknown new team led by powerful, person that Peregrine is not here to fight. We shouldn't do that. Our engaging them was like breaking the rules, and for the first one, and the other one would be that it might be like some like city ordinance rules, like perhaps that like as I was saying, with teleporters not being allowed to wear masks, like maybe we did engage them, but we went under we did not fight fairly based on our powers, like based on like the city's rules for like what might be engaged.
Cool. Anyone else want to comment or add to that?
I see 2 rules of engagement for the Titans voted on. And that's the one I think is a better one, that we just broke the Titans rules first and foremost.
So did you take it, as well as that? Did you take it too far? Did you not scout the situation where people were potentially injured? But I think we can sort of see that from.
I like the idea that we didn't survey the situation and plan attack. We were so excited about getting to go and do something that we just threw ourselves right into it, and it came out good, but it could have went really wrong.
Yeah.
Well, let's lead. Oh, sorry, you go.
I thought Steve had something. I saw him on mute.
Oh, yeah. I was gonna say, I like that. I like that idea. The idea that we were kind of still on like probation almost with them, and we weren't really released to do like field ops or whatever, and then we went out and did it anyway. Is that kind of what you're saying?
Yeah, I think that works quite well.
Yeah, that's exactly
Kind of like when Young Justice went into Cadmus. And they were like, they didn't say not to go to that situation, and they kind of twisted the rules.
Cool. So how would the city call the Titans normally? And because I think there's possibly like whatever the equivalent of the Titan signal goes up, and they're off planet, so intervene. Probably especially considering we know which part of the city that this was going to affect.
Oh, this has to be some kind of like because it is the bat phone from the old thing, and Emperor Norton is kind of like the Joker version of Batman. I think it was just like in the Pan Asian district's Titan Center. It just happened to be like the the Commissioner Gordon person. We see a group heading in. Doesn't seem to be the normal types. Wait for the Titans to come back and handle this, and we'll go in if it gets too dicey. We'll go in immediately.
Cool. So in you go. But the good news is, let's ask Pop and Jay. Put their team first came together. All things considered, we did well and impressed an established hero. Who did you impress and how?
I think Emperor Norton found that even though we went in rather chaotically and didn't follow the rules, we didn't cause a whole lot of collateral damage, and no one got seriously hurt. That I like as far as the population.
So we see like a panel of Peregrine chewing you out, and Emperor Norton said they didn't do so bad.
Yeah, yeah, we were getting chewed out by Peregrine over breaking the rules, and he stuck up for us.
Cool. So Bobby B, but you for the Beacon, but you did find signs that the incident were a start of something bigger. What were the signs?
Trying to figure it out. I'm drawing a blank.
Anyone want to help, Pearl?
I did say that Madame Bancho might have been started like a anti-Titans team. It could be that she's trying. It seems they're like they're our nemesis is her team.
I could maybe play into that too. My next one is we paid a high cost for victory, and I saw that Madame Bancho had tried to recruit Papillon, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What if the high cost is that Madame Bancho did recruit one of us and flip them over to her side that isn't on our team anymore, and that she's trying to like create this parallel group or something like that.
Ooh,
I could dig that. So the signs, I guess, would be that it seemed like in addition to whatever else was going on, they were sizing us up, and mysteriously one of our teammates has defected.
Yeah, like kind of like I feel like very like Runaways energy with like that. We're betrayed mid-fight almost.
Yeah.
Well, the person who fits that bill might be Hackjack.
Yeah, I was actually thinking that maybe that would work particularly well.
Cool.
Yes, Jack thinks that he's now found, right? Oh, I can't be part of that group, so I joined the other group, and yeah.
So I got this view that you almost had them on the rope, and you almost got them, and then Hackjack does something to betray you. With a name like Hackjack, I'm thinking that maybe they set Tank's powers out of control and managed to make a break for this.
The only suggestion I would make is we're getting a whole lot of males. Can we make someone female or like mix up the genders a little bit more or something?
Have we established? So I don't think we've established Hackjack's gender, and I think it's not Madam. Might find the NPC's tab. So what gender is Hackjack then? Let's sort of set that up.
We could set Hackjack up as female, and there may be some. I mean, I'm also, we can flesh out that relationship a little bit further, but yeah, it may be that there. I mean, in addition to the antagonism, that there may also be the case that it may be the case that Glitch and Hackjack are also kind of interested in each other in different ways as well. So
sweet, I like that. And Madame Bancho's is Madame Bancho female for it?
Yes, very female.
Cool.
So is Severine.
Gotcha. Okay. So does that let's give the let's give Tank an option to add a little bit more. That you paid the high cost for victory. What was it?
Yeah, no, I think we've kind of come up with that already. I really like the Hackjack dynamic thing. I think that's a cool thing to play with. Part of the reason that I brought it up was that one of my relationships is you love to kiss blank before your doom comes. So we could even do like a love triangle with Hackjack now that she's on the other side. So
Love it. Let's sort that out in a second, but let's deal with the final question then, which is for our transformed. We drew plenty of attention and we drew attention from plenty during the fight. One important person in particular now hates and fears us. Who is it?
I had a couple ideas. I mean, one would be, so we said that Union City put out the call and had, basically said, wait until the Titans come back. And we didn't wait. So, I'm wondering about some authority figure, like maybe the mayor of Union City, that because we didn't kind of follow what was set up for us, that the mayor is now deeply suspicious of us. Or if we wanted to make it even closer to home, I mean, we could make it something like the school superintendent or something like that.
I'm down with the mayor personally. If everyone else is like that, I think someone who's a political authority figure who thinks you're pesky kids. We every game needs a J. Jonah Jameson, right? That's what we want here. So, what's the mayor's name?
Let's. I'm always like going to the name generator.
Let's make it a she as well.
Let's call her Agnes Dilworthy.
I hate her already.
Yeah, she got this view of her with a very, very tall and slender, with high collars, pearls, tight hair.
Very severe hair.
Yeah, you just said, lovely, excellent. She wanted heroes, not jackanapes.
I believe that when I was getting dressed down by Peregrine, Mayor Dilworthy's name about what she's already had, the backlash she's already endured because of the first thing I did. So we're all aware of Mayor Dilworthy being upset because we got dressed down by the Titans about how we affected the main team.
Excellent. What is the team named?
We could be called the Fries, because it's like an acronym, FRI, for Fools Rush In. And also, fries are delicious.
Oh, and then we'll be getting called the Small Fries by the media.
Yeah.
Have a think. We'll come back and see if we can answer that at the. It's like even harder than naming your own characters, naming the team, right? It's like that. Right. Let's do relationships, and we'll zigzag across from this and get back in character keeper order. And I'm going to start with. Glitch there. So can you offer out? Now, again, we're looking for consent here, so I would prefer people to offer out their I've lost the PCs tab for some reason. There you go. Offer them out rather than just assign. So, Glitch, would you like to ask one of your relationship questions?
Okay, so the first one, who comforted me when I was at my lowest?
I think Bobby B would try to comfort anyone. The question of whether or not it would be effective, though, is up to you. But he is a real team player, so he will always be there for his teammates.
And I can see Papillon doing that as Jerry, like the self-deprecating way, like, it could be worse. You're not me. Ha ha.
Yeah, I kind of like, I do like the Bobby B, because I think that is definitely in Bobby B's character. But and also, though, I like the fact that personality-wise, I think Glitch and Bobby B are quite different from each other. But and that might be fun to play with.
Oh, so do mark down that Bobby B has a point of influence over you. This version of the sheet, just to be slightly confusing, gosh.
Doesn't the influence get handed out differently, not by relationship-wise?
Oh, yes, it is. Sorry, you're quite right. Influence is last. No, sorry, my brain was thinking of it switching to Hearts of Wulin mode. Yes, you're right. Tank, would you like to choose one of your relationships?
Mostly because it's the obvious one. I do think you'd love to kiss Hackjack before your doom comes. I think that's a cool one to play with.
I think that's quite fun as well. So Hackjack's going to be thorn in the side. Before let's choose one of your relationships, please.
So someone is awesome, and I take every chance I can get to hang out with them.
Hey, I'm the most awesome one on the team, baby. Besides you, of course, because you're the man. Now, come on, teach me how to dance.
I dig it. Done.
Awesome. Pop and Jay, would you like to choose a relationship to begin with?
Well, actually, Papillon asked Pop and Jay a secret of the legacy already while we were establishing our characters. If you don't object to that, you asked if I was vulnerable to psychic or mental attacks, even though I'm invulnerable to physical assault.
And I was not side-eyeing Peregrine after that dress down at all when asking this. Yeah, I am fair. I am fine with that.
Excellent.
Yeah. So, next, I think I will ask. I keep trying to impress one of you with my antics. Which of you do I need to impress, or which of you feels I'm doing antics to get your attention?
I mean, do you really want to learn how to dance? Because if so, and you're doing like interesting antics, that would like catch my eye as a potential dance partner later.
I mean, maybe we can like work in my weird parkour skills. It'll be cool.
Yeah, I think that could be awesome. Like just what we need to make sure that Tina T doesn't get like any headway before the end of the year.
Excellent. Let's zigzag back. So Papillon, if you want to go to again.
No sweat. Someone and I pulled an awesome, perhaps illegal stunt off together. And I want to throw this to Glitch. You're like a tech, not even a tech wizard. You're like the things tech wizards summon, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean, I think I know my way around quite well, yes.
Well, my brother started college a few years back, and like the loans were pretty bad. Do you think maybe we like just made the loans for the local college disappear one day?
Yeah, that seems reasonable. I mean that you know why should the colleges deny an education to people that were so smart and going to be so productive when they got out of college. So yeah, I think
Yeah, it's the Titans scholarship program. It's perfectly fine.
Okay.
no,
So
I'm good with that. Yeah.
how old is your brother? How old is Jerry's brother?
He is 23.
So he's just finishing college,
He
right?
is he is actually going into grad school next year. He double majored in psychology and I think sociology, and he's going for a PhD.
Awesome. And there'll be no issue on the professional ethics if it ever came out that the systems were hacked then, right?
It can't be hacked. I mean, it can't. It's technically hacking when it's using superpowers. I've checked the law.
Awesome. Pop and Jay, can we have your second relationship, please?
Okay. You once got caught doing something that changed your legacy with someone in the group. So, who did I do something shameful with?
I mean, is it shameful for you to be hanging around with a superpowered alien death weapon? I mean, tank.
Well, that's what I was thinking. Tank is almost more under observance. You choosing to be in a team with Tank is that might be interesting.
Um,
Yeah, I like
and
that,
also
especially. Oh, go ahead.
we both uh, are obviously, we don't have a secret identity,
Mm-hmm.
even though, you know, I look great, um, and my wings are really awesome. Uh, I can't turn it off. So we're not able to cut loose like normal people. So what could we have done to get into trouble that everybody knows it was us?
I'm sorry. I like the idea, but I'm drawing. I like the connection, but I'm drawing a blank on what they could have actually done.
Um, how about we engaged a threat like ridiculously soon after we just got yelled at for jumping into the other issue. Um, and we just happened to be on the street together, and we saw something going down, and we just dove into it, um, and got in trouble again for acting without thinking.
We could do that. This just occurred to me too, so I'm totally fine with that. We could have just been out like walking together. Depends on how cynical you want to make the Titans, I guess. But the two of us could have just been out like walking together, and you could have been seen with this tank that's got like a less than stellar reputation, and just by association, the Titans were like, "Yeah, you got to look better than this. This guy's trouble." Either one's fine.
I don't know. You're my teammate. If that would have caused a row, if they complained about me being out with one of my teammates.
If I can offer another suggestion, maybe like some alien tech fell to Earth outside the junkyard, and Popinjay helped Tank get it instead of turning it over to the proper authorities. We already broke the engagement rules.
Okay, yeah, that's good. That's good. So we kind of combine what you were saying, about engaging a threat with it being an alien threat that we kind of snag some stuff from.
So do we not turn it into who's Bobby B's Titan?
Dr. W.
Did we give it to Box W but not to the authorities, or did you just keep it for yourself?
I'm thinking maybe gave it to Vash, right? Because Vash said they can help stabilize the power matrix in the suit. If only they could get hold of blah. And the fact he handed this over to some aliens before it was threat checked, and now it's all too late. That the sort of game that would got you into trouble, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's not the person we were supposed to turn it into.
Awesome. So let's ask for the second relationship question from Bobby B, please.
My second relationship question. Why am I bad at scrolling? Oh, I've got to prove myself to blank before I feel like a real hero. So my instinct here is that it's Popinjay, because of the super awesome wings and the legacy, and like that's all stuff I don't have, right? But that seems like real superhero stuff right there. A whole legacy and everything.
Okay, and your power is you can phase, right? You teleport, or what?
Not teleport. I think phase in and out of this reality or dimension, but I don't really have control of it. My main power is my awesome acrobatic moves that I know from my b-boy skills. I can phase. It's just not super reliable right at the moment.
Oh, so that's like unleashing your powers kind of a thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna get better.
Gotcha. Okay.
But you've got a whole background and all this stuff. So if I could prove to you that I'm a hero, probably that would help. Plus, Popinjay, it almost sounds like a b-ball name or b-boy name.
Oh, okay.
You could be on the team. I'm Bobby B. This is Popinjay.
Right, and if you convince Popinjay to dance with wings, that might be weird.
Or awesome.
Yeah.
Tina T doesn't have wings.
So do you think Bobby B, what did Bobby B do awesome shit in that fight we had when the team came together?
Bobby B always does awesome stuff, man.
Okay.
What are you talking about? You don't have to have all the superpowers in the world to be awesome. You have to know how to work as a team, and
Right.
give it your all. That's what the coach taught us, and that's how I operate.
Cool. Okay, let's look at time there. Let's move on to Tank's second question, second relationship.
Yeah, I think this almost has to be. I think this almost has to be Pop and Jay as well because of like I think that incident that we just related, where the two of them kind of have this thing happen, and then there's some alien tech. I think when that alien tech pops up, that's when Tank has to disclose, like, hey, this is a matter of life and death for me. Like, I know you want to do the right thing, but this could keep me alive. And that is what causes them to be like, okay, this is my sanctuary. This is this crazy alien that I'm keeping alive out in a junkyard. So I think if you're cool with it, I think Pop and Jay knows all the stuff about him because of that fight.
Okay. And this is a secret you're keeping from the Titans?
Yeah. Yeah, so like right now, even Silver Sentinel does not know that he's sequestered this guy out in a junkyard. Silver Sentinel would be very upset to learn this.
Cool.
So maybe, so now, how did this tech show up, and how much information did the Titans have about us not turning it into the proper authorities?
So it in my view, and I'm happy for suggestions if anyone's got kind of a different mental picture, but there's this massive battle, kind of like the Avengers battle, where there's just like a big alien incursion, and like everything's like wacky and crazy and whatnot, and there's way more aliens than anyone can really track. So during that kind of a fight, where it's just mad craziness, one of these like Legionnaire aliens gets hit and spirals off into the street, and he happens to land right next to Carlos, and for whatever reason, opportunism, probably, Carlos decides to like hide this guy. So he drags him off into this junkyard to keep him away from anyone, really. And that contact is what causes him to get infected.
No, but I mean, that guy needed a part or something, right? Didn't we found something that we got in trouble for that changed my legacy?
Yep.
I think
How
it's
did
something
we
we can
find it? Like, was it in the fight with the big bad, or was it
Later, right? Because this is sort of as you establish as a team. So I think we can pull again. I'm keeping a close eye on the clock here, folks. So I think we can establish more about that. But I think we've recognized that
by
you
next
know about
time
it.
we'll need to address it, I think.
Okay. So I just want to do the second relationship question for Glitch.
So who knew me before I changed? I mean, one possibility that comes to my mind, since Tank would love to kiss Hack Jack before his doom comes. I mean, and Hack Jack is my rival now turned nemesis. It may be possible that Tank knew me before my alteration, and right, so because it might play into that nexus with Hack Jack involved.
Yeah, I like that. And in fact, it would make sense if that's sort of how Tank was introduced to the group in the first place. Because you've got, already had tech skills and whatnot. If when this happened to Tank and he started to get infected, if you were the first person he went to.
Cool, got it. Let's quickly do influence, and then we'll draw ourselves to a conclusion today. So for the transform, you try not to care what other people think if you can't shut everyone out. So you're going to give influence to one teammate. Who are you going to give influence to, Glitch?
I think the most clear one would be Bobby B, because that would kind of play into Bobby B comforting me when I was at my lowest.
Cool. That makes sense to me. Tank is the Doom. The people matter for what you need to do. Give influence to 2 of your teammates.
So I think Glitch needs to be one of them because of the tech skills again. I actually think the other one needs to be Bobby B, and that's just because of the personalities. Like Bobby B
Oh, the freeze.
is so like upbeat and like his
Oh, I had a bit of a freeze there, but yeah, I got that, I think. Awesome. Next for the beacon, you're excited to be here. Give influence over you to 3 of your teammates. Who's got influence on you, Bobby? Pearl, I think you might be muted.
Sorry about that. I thought it was everybody, so I had not thought about it. I didn't realize it was only 3. But I'm thinking maybe I'll give it back to well, I should give it to Poppin' J, because that's the person I want to prove myself to. And my other relationship is with Papillon. And then either Glitch or Tank, since they're people I have had. We'll say Glitch, since we had that previous comforting thing. But
Do I mark down when you tell me I have influence over you? Or do I mark down who has influence over me?
Both would be
Or
my
should I should do both?
advice.
what's influence canceled?
I think there's something weird in the sheet, so I'm going to change that to. Oh, well, you might cancel influence on an adult, right? So,
Right.
but so I think I want to change that from influence cancelled to, I suppose it's influence on you, right? So I'm just going to make that quick change to the. So you want to. Yeah. You want to note who's got influence on you and who you've got influence over. Okay, so for the legacy, you're part of this team for better and worse, and you care what they think. Give influence to all of your teammates.
Yep.
Everyone has influence over Popinjay. And for the delinquent, you care way more than you let on. Give 3 teammates influence over you. Who hasn't got influence over you and who does?
I think the only person who does not have influence over me is going to be Glitch. I think Poppin' J is telling me secrets, Bobby V's cool, and Carlos is kind of cute.
Awesome. Right, so folks, take a moment over this next week to read your playbook, please, because there are some bits that we want to make sure that we've specified, like the beacon has got drives, the Doom needs to find their sanctuary, and the legacy needs to figure out at least 2 of their legacy questions for who matters to them. Okay, so if I can ask you to take sort of responsibility for that, and then we'll do a little check-in at the start of next game before we get straight into action. We're a little
sorry,
over.
I was typing and I missed what you said.
Yeah, if you can read over your playbook, please. If you look at the legacy needs to name at least 2 different members of the legacy within the city and how important they are to you. The Doom needs to define the aspects of their sanctuary, and the beacon needs to choose their drives.
I already have mine in the character sheet, but
Cool.
if you want to check them
No,
and make
if you
sure they
no, you can choose
check out.
just make sure everyone's chosen that so we can come into play next time.
So I can choose the two members of the legacy we've already defined it previously. Pop and Jay Senior and Peregrine.
Cool. So
Okay.
Paragon is obviously still active and prominent in the city, and does that mean Popinjay is retired and quite judgmental?
Yeah.
Okay, because there's 4 options there, but take a look and note those in,
I
folks.
was
But
thinking Pop and Jay being more judgmental. I mean, Peregrine being more judgmental than Pop and Jay, honestly, because grandparents are usually less than, yeah. But
I say, if you can take a look at the playbook, there's a question there. You need to answer 2 of those four questions for me there,
Will
folks.
do.
But we're 10 minutes over this. So I want to be honest to each other on time. I'm going to stop recording there.